In Hebrews 9:14 through 17, the author described Christ as the mediator of the New Testament. What does he mean by this? I will discuss this after reading the passage in question, beginning with verse 14. How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? And for this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. For a testament is of force after men are dead, otherwise it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth. So what is the testament being talked about in this passage, and why does the testator need to die? Wayment expresses these verses in these words. How much more will the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to God, purify our conscience from dead works to worship the living God? Because of this, he is the mediator of the new covenant. So the first of the KJV's testaments is rendered as covenant. Going on, those who are called may receive an eternal inheritance because a death has occurred that sets them free from the transgressions of the first covenant. The second testament here also has the sense of covenant. Continuing with the rest of the passage. For if there is a will, the death of the person who made it must be proven. For a will goes into effect at death, since it has no power while the one who made it is still living. This final usage, or pair of usages, is equated with the sense of a will, as in a last will and testament. However, it is apparently still the same underlying Greek term, pronounced something like diatheke. So the key takeaway here is, when the epistles of the Hebrews addresses the topic of a testament or New Testament, it is referring to a new covenant, in the sense of a legal document or instrument, and can also refer to a will. Through Christ's sacrifice and teachings, he established the means and conditions for our return into the presence of God, and provided the means whereby, if we are faithful, we may inherit eternal life. In essence, writing us into his will.